two of them striking Colin. And his family says witnesses told them Colin was unarmed.
No one was armed, he said. No one had any weapons, no knife, no nothing. I guess words hurt now and cut like knives, I guess. It's sad.
Deshaun Colin Sunday, leaving behind 3 little girls and a huge family, including a grandmother who calls Colin her greatest grandkid.
He was my grandson. I loved him, and God knows I hate what have happened.
So what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Richard Taylor, and I'm back with another disturbing story concerning the expiration, the unalivement of another young black man at the hands of a white man. In this case, it was Apex Security Tactical Officer, this gentleman right here, Ted Mills, who pulled out his weapon and opened fire on the 32-year-old man as he was holding the door for patrons who were trying to enter the club. Now, what you just saw is some of his relatives describing the circumstances behind his demise and how it affected them. And I'm going to show you that whole news clipping. However, this happened on last Friday, and that would be October the 26th, if I'm not mistaken. And here again, there has been no national news coverage, but it did happen in Abilene, Texas. And I received this information from the mother of a female who was there at the club. And also, she is a very close friend of the now deceased 32-year-old father, Mr. Deshaun Colin. Now, I'm going to play the entire news clipping, but I'm also going to give you some information on the Apex Tactical Security team and how these security officers are basically former military and police. And I have no doubt in my mind that this former military or police officer took it upon himself to unalive Mr. Colin as he was caught in the affray of something that happened at the club. Nevertheless, we're going to play this quick intro. Please like, share, and subscribe to the station, and we'll be right back after these messages.
From local stories to Wayne County news, get ready to dive into everything happening in North Carolina with Taylor House Publishing. Got a story to share? Shoot us an email at taylorpublishinghouse@gmail.com. If you're looking to publish your book or need some top-notch mentorship, we've got your back. Join the excitement with the one and only Richard Taylor, right here at Taylor House Publishing. Speak with Richard directly at 919-587-7782. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and invite your family and friends to watch.
From Wayne County to the Carolina coast, Taylor House brings the news you love most. Tune in on YouTube, don't miss a beat. Local stories that keep you in your feet.
Taylor House, we got the scoop.
Taylor House Publishing.
Police say a 32-year-old man was shot at Bravo Hookah Lounge Sunday at about 3 a.m. by a security officer. The building manager showed KTex's reporter Karina Hollingsworth surveillance video.
This is Deshaun Colin, moments before he was shot by the security officer at Bravo Hookah Lounge. We don't have authorization to show the video, but 3 gunshots were heard in the video, 2 of them striking Colin. And his family says witnesses told them Colin was unarmed.
No one was armed, he said. No one had any weapons, no knife, no nothing. I guess words hurt now and cut like knives, I guess. I feel some type of way because I think that it was definitely a sin.
The incident at the Hookah Lounge took place around 3 a.m. The lounge was at capacity. A crowd began to form outside. The surveillance footage showed Colin at the front of the crowd holding the door open for the lounge staff to enter the building. The crowd began to push, attempting to push their way in while Colin was at the front. An altercation ignited between the security guard from Apex Tactical Security and Colin along with other partygoers. The security officer's head hit the glass door. This picture shows a bystander grabbing Colin around the neck as Colin was detained. The security officer pulled out, striking him twice. Colin fell to the ground. He was pulled outside by two bystanders. His aunt, Charlotte Cummings, said he was driven to the hospital by his friends.
When Deshaun told him, I'm dying. That's what he told me at the hospital. He said, when we noticed that Deshaun was shot and he was on the ground, he said, I'm dying. I'm dying. So that's what I got when I got to the hospital.
Colin's aunt, Sheila Lover, said she first heard about her nephew's shooting around 3:50 a.m. on Sunday while he was on his way to the hospital.
And they tell us that it doesn't look good, but they're going to go and see. The surgeon goes in. Matter of fact, he had two surgeons. And they started something after 4 a.m. surgery, and at almost 9 o'clock he came out. And he told us that they had done 30 units of blood, plasma. They couldn't stop the bleeding. The bullet did go straight through, but it pierced one of his large arteries in his heart, so they couldn't stop the bleeding. They tried their best, and I appreciate that.
Deshaun Colin Sunday, leaving behind 3 little girls and a huge family, including a grandmother who calls Colin her greatest grandkid.
He was my grandson. I loved him, and God knows I hate what have happened. I really do.
APD says the investigation is ongoing and no charges have been filed at this time.
And as you heard from the news reporter, as usual, as protocol, no charges have yet been filed. Now, it was told to me, as you heard from the news clipping, that it happened about 3 a.m. and Mr. Colin was at the front of the line. The club, they weren't letting anybody else in. And it was told to me that Mr. Colin was at the front of the line and they were not letting anybody in. And so Mr. Colin was holding the door open for some staff to walk through. And evidently, when the door opened, people tried to rush the club. And because Mr. Colin was in the front of the line, as you see from the picture, he was probably thrust into the club. And as you see the gentleman grabbing him in the chokehold, and as the lady said, the man's head apparently hit the door and he pulled out his service weapon and expired the man. As you heard, it hit him in the heart, pierced his heart artery. And, on the way to the hospital, he felt that, he was leaving the earth, in which he expressed that to his loved ones. And now you have a 32-year-old man gone, all because of this man, his overzealousness, his entitlement to unalive this man who was clearly in a restrained position, all because he probably knows he's going to get away with it. As we see, or as we've been seeing within the past few months, it is clearly open season on black men in this area. In this area, I mean America. And a lot of times these private security firms, or these Cubs, hire private security firms. And this security firm, which is called Apex Tactical 22.com. Look at their logo. It's red. It has it has the appearance of, evil, if you ask me. And if you see by their description, it says experience, former military and police experience. And once again, we, as you well know, that a lot of the military, former military and police have the propensity to be extra aggressive towards people of color. And I looked up, their team, as you can see. And if you see here, a lot of them have law enforcement training. There you see James Freeman, the owner, 10 years in correction, personal private security. Billie Jean Freeman, I guess that's the wife, background in corrections, personal protection officer. Stephen Flores, U.S. Air Force, retired, 33 years. Christian Breaker, mixed martial arts, federal contractor. And a lot of those federal contractors are mercenaries. Monica Otten, 21 years of experience, hands-on in the criminal justice field. Philip Rodriguez, police chief, retired. And the only black person, Tasha Jacobs, Texas Department of Criminal Justice. And here we have the cold-blooded animal, Ted Mills, 10-year U.S. Army, 3 years Knox County Sheriff Department. James Garcia, federal detention. Larry Witowski, 24-year Air Force veteran, nuclear weapons security. Kevin Silvestri, experienced officer. William Guin, Expert Shooters Badge Awards. Megan Jennings, experienced marksman. J.C. Freeman, I guess that's one of the daughters, security officer. Michael Lopez, 3 years in Iraq. Kelsey Stunt, and she's just probably some family friend who they enlisted. But there you see the history, the background of these people who feel that it is within their right, it is within their duty, it is within their service to go above and beyond and take the life of our young brother. And clearly you see that there is no arrest made at this time. The man was unarmed. He was in a restrained position, but yet and still, he was unalive by this, as Tariq Nasheed calls him, race soldier. And so somebody explained to me how that man could be taken away so quick, and the man who attempted to expire his neighbor out of Minnesota could be given a chance to surrender after 5 days after attempting to unalive his neighbor. Clearly, once again, this is an open season, as it has been for a long time, but this is blatant. You've seen the thing in Jasper, Texas. All over the states, we're seeing this phenomenon of people just taking people who don't look like me, taking people who do look like me out. And so, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. 919-587-7782. Peace and blessings.
Richard Taylor, right here at Taylor House Publishing. Speak with Richard directly at 919-587-7782. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and invite your family and friends to watch.
From Wayne County to the Carolina coast, Taylor House brings the news you love most. Tune in on YouTube, don't miss a beat. Local stories that keep you on your feet.
Taylor House, we got the scoop.
Taylor House Publishing.